closed, have you ever asked the question, why not start the day with the mind discovering peace, happiness, truth, and wisdom? Do we want to start our morning with the mastery over the mind? Not misery. That is what the Mangalacharan is. We chase and follow the mind, or you take over the mind. Such a simple submission of our great masters. That is why, because the moment you wake up, your mind returns to the old pattern, old wounds, unnecessary, unwanted thought. So, in the midst of those thoughts, when you say the Mangala Charan in your mind or loudly or together, Namah Shri Shankarananda, salutations to Sri Shankarananda, or you can say Namaste to teacher or God, or let me invoke peace and happiness in my life. Despite the mind is running after unwanted, unnecessary thoughts. One may have financial problems, second may have physical problems, third may have relation. No, leave aside all that. Guru Padam Bhujjanmane, to the lotus feet of the Guru, symbolic. We don't have an ego in terms of arrogance. We also have an ego. One woman tells me every week that, no, sir, I'm a lower seeker. That is also a big ego. So we have to get rid of that ego. That is why, symbolically, to the lotus feet of the Guru, Savilasam Maha Moha, the great delusion, is constantly haunting us, and that haunts us early in the morning. Why not Mangalacharan? What is the sole function of a teacher? To get seeker rid of this delusion, ignorance, and suffering. Open the eyes, that is the step one. I'm changing the pattern of passing on this knowledge to you. Why not start with this? So step one. So if you remember stepwise, it will also help you to remember. Those who are really seekers. Now you can open your eyes, Ashok. We are not sleeping. So every morning the mind wakes up before us. It starts talking. It is a bad day. No one understands me. I'm drowning in problem. Sounds familiar? An anxious, restless mind cannot solve anything. It only multiplies suffering. So the step one has to be the Mangalacharan. Look at the importance of it. Understand it through the intellect. You can follow the mind, chasing likes or dislikes, fear and anxiety, or you can lead the mind. That is where the Mangalacharan comes in. Command it to search for peace. No, I have lot of problem. Teacher does not understand. So you understand that you have a problem. Ask yourself. That is why train it to discover the Mangalacharan. It could be a mantra, it could be an intention, it could be a silent prayer, it may be a breath of awareness, just doing the first 5 minutes. Let me keep looking at the breath, doing nothing. Why? In sleep there was no doer, so in a waking state, let me find out, am I into the state of non-doership? My friends, if that happens, you will see in a week life, you will find the tremendous change, whatever the problem you have. Step one should be common in all the sessions. Step two, especially in this Saturday's journey, I call it is a witness consciousness. So in Saturday's session, we are looking for a witness consciousness. What is this witness consciousness? I'm just summarizing again so that in steps you remember. Second step is a witness consciousness. So we have a material consciousness, we have a subconsciousness, we have animal consciousness, we have a higher consciousness, we have a rise and fall in consciousness. What this is? What is this? Witness consciousness. Can we define? Can we understand? So it comes by regular listening, learning, and contemplation and reflection, or plus meditation practice. That is what this master explained with reference to the three mental states: the sleep state, the waking state, and the dream state. In the waking state, we chase goals, roles, and achievement. In the dream state, our mind plays with impressions. In the deep sleep, everything dissolves. Can I recognize any other state of the consciousness where we are aware of all? Witness consciousness. We are not the doer. In a waking state, that doership from the mind is gone. In the dream state, that very dreamer is understood as one of the mental state. In the deep sleep, everything dissolves. Yet still, we know we exist. Eastern wisdom calls it. I'm just making it very simple. Eastern wisdom says it is the witness consciousness. Can we define? Yes. We can give some hint. It sees without judging. It exists without changing. It is a reflection of our real self. I had a good sleep, but you were asleep. Who remembers it was good sleep? It was good and it was a good sleep. It is the witness consciousness. Our master in this book starts from the witness consciousness. We are not talking of go and practice asanas and focus on the breath and just do all kinds of asana, pranayama, mudra. No. It says you recognize here and now. It is present here and now. First step is Mangalacharan. Second step is witness consciousness. In waking, I perceive through senses. In dreaming, I perceive through the mind. In deep sleep, there is no perception. But I still exist. Who knows this? Witness consciousness. Again, you are listening to me. You are not meditating. Don't fall into sleep. So what happens? Witness consciousness. So witness consciousness means I am aware who is anxious, who is separate from who feels in sense of incompleteness, sense of separate from me, and slowly the illusion begins to dissolve. You enter into meditation. Yeah, I told you, I'm that kind of a teacher. I put medicine into your mouth, even if you are not interested into it. So that is why yesterday I was thinking. So I said, let me put it into this step. So in every session we will talk about the steps so you remember. So in this Saturday's session, the first step is Mangalacharan, second is witness consciousness. The mind is like a mirror. But even if you are sleeping while listening to me, then God will help you. But the God doesn't help you if you do not become conscious. God may help you after a few years. Second step is clear. Second step is clear. Another way to understand, the moment I am into anxiety, just remind yourself, just before the anxiety, what was the state? What was that state? I was calm. Okay, I was calm. Now I see the anxiety. It will also go away. Before, during, and after. Before an event, during an event, after an event. That is why Buddha says breath mindfulness. He does not say focus. He simply says watch. Be aware. So who becomes aware is the witness consciousness. Knower. Got it? Second step. Let us go to the third step. Third step, where second is. So again, we are relating in this text, the next few verses, maybe 4 and 5 verses, it says the regular reflection until the mind settles in witness consciousness. What it means, I have understood, I have explained to myself, I have recognized, but still I miss it. Maybe I am falling into sleep. Maybe my mind is focused on something else. I have to break this sleep. Okay, no, I'm listening, I'm listening, I'm listening, I'm listening. No, you are not listening. So I have to break this. Now the problem is that falling into sleep, getting carried away by any thought. So I have to live into the little higher awareness. That is step number 3. How to live into this higher awareness? Just you have to check it. I'm feeling sleepy. I have to get rid of it. I have a thought. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Let me do it mentally. That will help you. If you are a seeker, again I told you that I'm putting the medicine into your mouth, provided you are ready to take it. You throw it out. Regular reflection until mind settles in witness consciousness before you move to another step. How to do it? What kind of a thought I should put it into my mind? I am not what is born. I am not what grows. I am not what declines. I am not this thought. I am not this anxiety. I am the one that witnesses it all. That witness consciousness is my real self. I have to live into that. Did you understand? I gave an antidote. Third step. Witness consciousness continues. So we continue with that. The step 3 is already done because there is no sleeping. But then what happens, so we take with reference to, I explained you in the last 2 sessions, the step 3 can go with the 6 modifications of the body. Master says if you drop the identification with the body, I'm not saying dropping the body. How can you listen in my next session if you drop the body? I'm saying 6 modifications of the body. So how to drop the identification with the body? In the same step. to return to the witness consciousness, I have to think, oh, this body coming into existence, first modification, jayate, being born or manifesting, third, vardhate, growing, fourth, changing or transforming, fifth, declining, aging, and sixth, perishing. Whatever is changes, that is false, that is not me. If the body is changing now, it has to perish one day, hence it is not me. But who is concluding it is not me? That is the witness consciousness. I have to do millions of times until you reach to that state of witness consciousness. No, I don't have a time to do it. That is why you are suffering. Did you understand what I'm saying? Step 3. You are suffering because I don't have a time. So you have a time for anxiety. Go to the first step. You have a time for anxiety. You have a time for stress. You have time for conflict. You have a time for blame. This women always writes. No, sir, I am a lower seeker. So you have an ego that you are a lower seeker? Are you making fool of me? But I don't write. You say, very good. You recognize you are a lower seeker. You know your hand is on a hot plate. What should I do? My hand is on a hot plate. Are you making fool of me? But I don't respond. Why I don't? Because she thinks she is right. What should I say? Anyhow, the step 3 is done. So now come to the 4th step. So understand, in this journey, in Saturday's session, step 1, Mangalacharan, which is common factor, the step 2, witness consciousness. Directly we have to enter into witness consciousness. So everyone is capable to treat the path. Even if you feel sleepy, let me get rid of that. And the third one, reflection on the witness consciousness with reference to 6 modifications of the body. I'm making it very clear to you. Now the next 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4 verses. That makes the step for the real self or consciousness is Satchidananda. Understand, the first is, at least I could see that you are separate and different from me. That this wall, this room, this computer, this body, my anxiety, they are separate from me. If I don't see that separate from me and I say I am the real self repeating, it will not work. So now step 4, what is this real self? We have already understood in this we had couple of sessions, what is this real self? We have understood this real self is Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means, Sat is forever, Chit is consciousness, Ananda is permanent happiness. That is what the real self is. Your husband, you are handsome, and you are CEO. You are one. Same way. Your real self is Satchitananda. It is only one. Labels is given outside with reference to understanding. It is only one, it is not 3. So the Sat. Sat also means the existence. Can Sat ever be destroyed? No. Body exists on that existence, and that existence is I am. that I am the existence will not be recognized if you don't follow the step 2 and step 3. Can you repeat it? No, you have to go through it again. You have to remember this. I'm making it very clear. So Sat is existence. And then how do I recognize that it is existence? I have to be conscious. I have to be conscious entity. So that is why if I am conscious, I am consciousness. And then when I recognize, because I am existence, I am consciousness, and hence I am complete. Hence I am complete. I am of the nature of permanent happiness. That is what the real self is. Did you understand the step 1 to step 2? We have moved to the step 3. Sat, always existing. Chit, always aware. Always aware. In sleep. Sleep is a mental state. When you wake up, you know that you had a sleep. Who knows? That is consciousness. Do these qualities come and go? No. They are not the states, mental states. They are my essence. That is me. How can they come and go? If they come and they have gone, so I am gone. If I have come, I am gone, so I don't exist. So that is why we are the real self. Step 4, we have done. So that is what we say. We are pure consciousness, awareness, and bliss. Again, you see that if I am the real self, we have covered in the third step. If I am the real self, if I am the Satchidanand, hence I am not the body. But we have to cover in our head, in the intellect first. Then only we can reach to this conclusion. Directly, I am simply singing, I am the real self, I am the real self. No, it will not work. Step 2 and 3 has to work. I'm not the body. You are not the body. You are not your thoughts. You are not even your story. You are not your own story. Now, why don't you listen to me? I'm awfully busy. I have lot of problem. You know, sir, I am a lower seeker. Are you making fool of me? No, you are making fool of yourself. Because you have accepted that you are made up of stress. When you say you have a lot of stress and suffering, it means you are made up of the stress. Clear? For the sake of understanding. So if you have already declared that you are made up of the stress, why you are attending this session? When you already know you are made up of the stress, so there is no chance of peace and happiness. Non-thinking is a great problem in our life. I'm a lower seeker. Thanks God. I'll bring a gift for you because you are a lower seeker. So the step number 4 is done. Sat means that which always is. My body changes, but this existence is. You see the step number 1, 2, 3, 4? Your mood shifts, but I am beyond the mood shift. I'm into anxiety now. I'm beyond that anxiety. Chit, pure consciousness. Anand, permanent happiness. It is not pleasure. It is not pleasure. It is not pleasure. Step number 5. Do you remember all the 4 steps? Perhaps in your mind. Did you forget it? If you forget it, thank you. So you can ask me. So step number 5. Question now. We are fairly intelligent. So when you say that I am of the nature of permanent happiness, I am only pure consciousness. When I say I am not the body, why I am suffering? That is our fifth step. We have to ask the questions. We are self-conscious beings, so we have a right to ask. You have a right to ask this question. You don't have a right to ask a question, what should I do? I'm a lower seeker. You recognize. What do you recognize? That my hand is on a hot plate. What to do? You don't have a right. You are already living in ignorance. Anyhow, step number 5. Step number 5. So, what is the problem? What is the problem? We discussed about superimposition. Superimposition. But before superimposition, in the step number 5, we understand we are of the nature of permanent happiness. And then we understand also that my daily experience is not that. It opposes. So what is the problem? I have to solve that problem. So we have already covered a couple of times the blissful nature of the self. Why I don't see I'm permanent happiness even though I am the real self. Why I don't experience what is my essential nature. It is because of the ignorance. So what is ignorance? That permanent happiness is hidden. Where it is hidden? Pay attention. It is hidden. It is not absent. The mind will jump in here. It will say it is absent. Then you become a lower seeker. Then you become, all the crazy stuff will come to you. The wheel of ignorance. Blackout curtain. I have this in the back of my white blackout curtain. The sun could not enter, so that you can see, you can look into my face. If the light falls from the back, you cannot see it. So, but it has the sun hides behind that curtain. So what is that curtain that hides behind? What is that curtain that hides my real self? So that curtain is the ignorance, that curtain is the delusion, that curtain is the superimposition. So the master answers few questions. If the self is permanent happiness, why don't I feel it? Why is it that even after years of effort, we feel restless, we feel incomplete, we feel anxious? First thing to understand, the bliss is not a peak moment, not a high. You know, we have medications in modern psychology. They put you up, they put you down. If you are more excited, in cases of split personality and depression, and you become violent, so they give you the medication that put you down. I'm just explaining it normally. And if you are if you keep on sleeping, they put me up. The medication is known as put me up. So this permanent happiness has nothing to do with put me up and put me down. It is not a moment. It's not a high. It is not a high. Not even happiness as we normally understand. It is unchanging background of peace that is always present, even when it is unnoticed. Pay attention. Even when it is unnoticed. Are you understanding means? I lost the key in my house, unnoticed. Key is still there. Permanent happiness is still there, unnoticed. Why it is unnoticed? There may be some superimposition, illusion. In deep sleep, we experience peace without objects. The peace is the clue, a quiet whisper from your true self. Why do people feel peace when chant? So he has given an example of chanting, recitation, the chorus. Do you remember I told you 50 students? So we are asking the first question, why do people feel peace when chanting? Because for a brief moment the mind becomes still. Because mind starts moving like the wave, continuous pattern. The ego softens and a glimpse of bliss shines through. This shows the problem is not the absence of happiness, it is the presence of a noise. Did you understand? Did you get it? Yes. Say yes. Permanent happiness is always present. This is our fifth step. You remember? Fifth step. Permanent happiness is always present. It is veiled like the sun behind the clouds. Now, this example you have to contemplate and reflect. The sun hides behind the clouds, and in the same sunlight, I see the sun hides behind the clouds. Did you understand? I say I am a lower seeker. I'm conscious that I'm a lower seeker. Consciousness is there. Permanent happiness is hidden by the ignorance. That is why. That is why we say superimposition. Ignorance does not destroy bliss or permanent happiness. It simply prevents us from seeing it. This blackout curtain does not destroy the sun. It simply hides it. Pay attention. If this, I would say, if you have not done the first four steps, the fifth step has no meaning at all. Then you have a, yes, it has a meaning. Sir, I believe you. No, don't believe me, believe yourself. No master says in Eastern wisdom, believe me. They say, believe in the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. We suffer because we confuse the self with the ego. Ego says I'm the lower seeker. Ego says I have lot of problems. Ego says I'm fully busy. It is your ego recognizes. We are aligning with Mondays and Thursdays session. Wedding crasher. We have already discussed about it, which brings in the six enemies. So here we say it brings the ignorance and superimposition. There we say it is because of the six enemies. They all are the same. Approach is different. The confusion is called the superimposition. Imagine a treasure buried beneath your own home. You don't see it, but it's always been there. Is there some law in US that if you find a treasure beneath your home, you have to declare it to the government? Yeah, you have to declare it to the government. But here, if you find that treasure, you need not to declare. You don't need to travel, just remove that covering. That is the journey. In the why don't you experience that real self? Because of veils, ignorance, superimposition, covering, because of the noise. It is already there. If I have a belief that it is there and I have to uncover it, 50% of your problems is done. Then you will never become fully busy. One guy, second guy, I'm very busy. Okay, you are very busy. Remain busy in your life. What veils my peace right now? Am I chasing happiness or uncovering happiness? I'm chasing happiness, I'm fully busy. Look at this, the fifth step. First, it depends. It is based on the first four steps: Mangala Charan, witness consciousness, reflection, and fourth one, fifth. So, so that is why the chorus chanting has been introduced. The superimposition. There is a little difference between these terms. Superimposition, we falsely attribute the qualities of the body and the mind on the self. With the same example, sun is behind the blackout curtain. So that real self is behind the body and the mind. So when I claim that I am the body and the mind, ego is there and it wills. It is a superimposition. It is not physical. We have to understand that point. Then we come, so where it leads to? It leads to delusion. What is delusion? What appears true is not true. Now, what appears true, I am the body and the mind, but it is not. It is not. And both brings the level of ignorance of the self. We don't know what the self is. We identify with what we do. Name, form, thoughts, person, profession, relationship, etc., etc. That is our misidentification. But how it happens? By thought. What is the thought? I have a lot of pain, why don't you understand? Let me first take care of the pain in the body and then I will meditate. It will never happen. Why it will never happen? You have a pain today, you remove the pain. You cannot guarantee that tomorrow in the body you cannot have a pain. Can you guarantee? No. So I have to first drop the identification. Clear understanding. Clear understanding, my friends. Clear understanding, the application. So you see that? Now once you have 5 steps of understanding, now you are clear, you have understood, you have paid attention to the knowledge, not to me. It is not required. Now you ask, is this stress me? Intellect says no. Why? I did not have the stress an hour before. Now I have a lot of stress listening to you. I will get rid of the stress after this session is over. Do you see that? So that clarity has to be there. If that clarity is there, then mind says, who is this I am beneath this thought, this emotion, this body, this mind? Today's stress, yesterday's anxiety. There was something that has never been changed. It is an unchanging identity. Oh, it is an unchanging identity. Who is that unchanging identity? First, we recognize it is a witness consciousness. And why it is a witness consciousness? Because there are still two. I see the thoughts, feeling, body, mind, intellect on one hand and the real self on the other. When I recognize the real self, it is an objectless state. Everything is the real self. The moment the mind moves into the non-thinking, you will fall back. I'm fully busy, I'm lower seated. And I remember her because she sent me a text. My dear sir, you are my sir. So I know because that lower seeker is being, you are having that ego. And if I challenge your ego, you will say, you are not my dear sir, you are my crazy sir, I don't want to talk to you. So it's better to keep the communication on. I didn't respond. Do we find that comfort zone? I'm fully busy. You don't understand, I have so many problems. Can you tell me when you don't have a problem in the past? When you did not have any problem in the past? When I met Terry, she was just booming with her elegance, moving. She took me to her almost 15th floor or 16th floor in skyscraper. So what is that? That is different from the body. So another way to absorb this teaching and start living. So let us have our discussion now, contemplation and reflection. Dennis, you want to go for?
Uh, yes, basically, I can summarize this session, and we were talking about the steps, as I understand, to settle in the understanding of real self. And the first step is tuning the mind using the mandala charan. Then the second step is witness consciousness, which means that I'm aware of everything, but at the same time, I am not any of that which I'm aware of. I am the knower. And then comes regular reflection until the mind settles in this witness consciousness. And the fourth step is realizing that real self is Satchitananda, which means existence, consciousness, bliss. And then we have a contradiction that our daily experiences don't match what we have said in the first four steps. And then we understand why this happens. This happens because our ignorance has the ability to veil the properties of the real self and hide them uh, behind the world that is non-existent, that is superficial and artificial. So what we need to do here is to learn, contemplate, and remove that ignorance. We need to understand that what appears through our sense organs, when we start questioning its reality, it proves to be false and unreal. And gradually, as we remove that which is false, the real starts revealing itself and starts manifesting. And then you gave us a useful tool, which I personally find it useful because I have been using it for quite a while, is when mind identifies with either suffering or pleasure, we ask the mind whether this was before, with this pleasure or suffering took place before, and whether it will be after. And obviously the answer will be no, and then this pleasure or suffering loses its grip, its power, and we come back to real understanding. So this is my summary of today's session.
Beautiful narrated. I become a witness that I am busy, the busyness goes away. I become the witness too that I'm into anxiety means I recognize before? No. Now? Yes. After? No. You don't have a standing. Why you are coming to me? Why you are chasing me? So it's a movement from a non-thinking. Non-thinking includes sleepiness, laziness, arrogance, ego, etc. to a conscious thinker. So when you are a conscious thinker, you follow the 5 steps. And in any situation, I can bet you, in any situation in your life, in your personal, professional, social life, you'll find the change. Yes, David, you want to say something?
Yes. Girish says goodbye.
Okay.
Dennis, thank you for your very succinct and thoughtful summary of the whole lesson. It sums it up perfectly. And really the witness consciousness aspect of it for me is very intriguing. And I've been using that a lot in my life. I kind of step back and say, I'm just a witness to what's going on. And it's almost like being a first responder. They can't get attached to the victim, the person that's been shot or whatever, because then they can't do their job. So they have to kind of step back their emotions and just go do their job. And I think if you relate that to our life with things that go on, it's very helpful. So I love it. It's great and lots to contemplate and reflect. Thank you. And thanks, Dennis.
Beautiful. Yes, I extracted one thing. Whenever we are surrounded by anxiety, stress, duality, conflict, laziness, sleepiness, the very first responder is the witness consciousness. It has to be the first responder. You cannot start thinking directly that I'm the real self. It will not work. It will not work. Beautifully said. Yes, Vaibhav, you want to say something?
Thank you, sir. What I realized, uh, when I use these principles, so it helps me to know that, tells me my mind that what is the real self. Without these principles, mind used to tell me that who am I, and it tells me who am I in terms of all the memories, all the associations I keep, which is segmented, and it only tells me in during that event that it tells me that this point of time I am stressed. It tells me this the point I am in pain, but it doesn't tell me all those memories where these events were not there. And
Yeah, go ahead.
I see myself. I see my with these principles. I also recall that in those events, in those places which I don't keep a memory of, still I exist, and it lowers that impression. So when I compare in these two, that in these memories which I don't keep, I still exist, and that's what it helps me to uh, release those events in the mind from the mind.
Beautifully said. And there is a statement that you should keep in our mind, everyone. When we ask ourselves, who am I, minus the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, you don't have a knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. So anyone can say that I am the body and the mind, I have past memories. I lived professionally and personally and socially like this. I married and I had divorce. So my mind goes back to the past. Now, who am I? After you understand, you receive the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, then you can easily distinguish between here is the real self and here is the false I. Oh, this is the false I. But why it is a false I? It is the past. I'm projecting something into the future. I'm fully busy because I'm projecting something into the future. So you see, that is the third step, the point of reflection. So, point of reflection with a specific standard, the tagline. Sun gives you, the moment I have a sun, we know the sun has a light in the heat. So that is the tagline. So here, Eastern wisdom changes that tagline. I am the real self, of the nature of peace and happiness. Beautiful point that you all have said. Do you want to say anything, Terry? No. So let us. Oh, you want to say something?
Oh, I always think of the real self as being the one who remembers things from the past, that are not,
That is not.
that I used to be small,
Yeah.
etc. And but what you said that really got me this time was the thing about noise. That it's a noise that is blocking
Yeah.
knowledge. It's not that it's not there.
Knowledge of my past memories, my association, my identification with the body, mind, memories, events do not allow the intellect to search beyond. And there the Eastern wisdom comes, and Eastern wisdom says, let us start with a hypothesis. I have been telling you again and again. Let us believe and prove it. First, start that there is a real self. Now prove it. That is what we are proving, step by step. That we are neither the sleep state, we are not the dream state, we are not the waking state. And that understanding will come in the future lessons at a very subtler level. How to understand clearly that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the sense organs, I am not that ego. So we open up each and everything. How? By three bodies: physical, subtle, and causal bodies. By understanding the six neighbors. By understanding the three states. So you go on, make clear. You have a clarity of understanding, and the time comes. Witness consciousness is already there. You need not to do the practice anything. You are already absorbed into the state of meditation. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. I will go in a very simple way. Place, position, posture. Please be aware of the place where the body is sitting. Please. How do you know that you are sitting on this place? Because I have an indirect knowledge. What is in that direct knowledge? I feel some sensation of the cushion or the couch wherever I'm sitting, the way I'm sitting. Where I'm sitting is the position. And just, it is so simple. If you go in a very simple way, after understanding all the 5 steps, it becomes a rewarding journey. So your mind is now very clear. And the posture, you are talking of the body posture. Yes, I'm talking of the posture of the body. So what I have to do? No, do nothing. Just be aware. You see, we are trying to get into the witness consciousness. So, okay. And being comfortable. So, being comfortable. No, I remember. Your mind may say, I remember. Oh, you start to look into the look into the neck joint. So you are aware, when the mind is clear, you are aware the mind has changed the direction. I'm just giving the instruction in a communication, conversational style, so that your mind should not feel that you are doing something. Okay, being comfortable. So when you say that you look at the neck joint, it means you're asking me to change the direction of the mind from outside to inside. At the same time, I experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Very good. And then I explore sensation without body, not possible. And steadiness with reference to the body, not possible. It has to be with reference to the body in the beginning. What about the comfort? Comfort, definitely, it is an experience in the mind, but beyond mind? Yes, it is beyond mind. Why it is beyond mind? If comfort is the inherent nature of the mind, then I will never ever experience any discomfort in my life. That proves that comfort comes from somewhere deeper than the mind. I'm just putting a logic. I'm not doing anything at all. So, okay, let me look at then the entire body. I experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness, and comfort. Mind seems to get absorbed. Oh, comfort comes from beyond the mind. And now being carefree. Carefree, you all share differently, but that carefree is to explore the witness consciousness in the step 2 and 3. Anyhow, what is that? I gave you hundreds of examples and metaphor. You're watching, feeling, and experiencing thought, feeling, sensation, past, memory, event. You are none of them. I'm breaking up the witness consciousness also, even though it cannot be. But it is just putting the medicine into your mouth. If you are aware and alert, it will happen. So, yes, anything that comes, anything is perceived and experienced and known by the mind is object. I am the subject. I am the subject. I'm a knower. The real knower can never become the object. What it means, whatever I experience is separate and different from me. I am the body? No. I witness the body. I am the thought? No. I witness the thought. Why? Because I see the object. Thought is an object, body is an object, mind is an object. Fully busy, your expression is an object. Being a lower seeker is an object. Oh my goodness, everything is an object except the real self. Answer is yes. Except I am, obviously. That is why I know the world. Oh, that is why I know the world. So, that point being carefree, separation of the knower and the known. But if the mind pushes you to become the known, you will feel laziness. You will feel you have a lot of problem. I'm making it very clear to you. Okay, if that is so, I will struggle. No, you need not to struggle. And now, once we touch the point of the witness consciousness, just do nothing. Keep looking at the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation of change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Is that we are taking the mind away from day-to-day struggle to a witness consciousness? Just check it. So if the mind is deviated, distracted to another thought, you bring it back. That much alertness and awareness is required. So we don't live into that awareness and alertness. Then our master says, no, we still have a medicine. We still have a medicine of regular practice of asanas and the breathing and loud chanting of the mantras, long list. So it means, provided we have an urge to become a seeker, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it in your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. Know your experiences. We'll share our experiences. How are you, David?
Sir, I'm finding the coming out of these meditations as of late, I feel this abundance of energy and freedom just by the understanding and the power that I truly have to get to my pure happiness. And really the witness consciousness was really sort of another example of that I'm not attached to the busyness, the stress, all that type of stuff. So I'm just stepping back and therefore feeling very relaxed and very free. Thank you.
Rightly said. There, gradually and progressively, the mind changes the belief that fatigue, that restlessness has less to do with the body, it has more to do with the mind in ignorance. When the mind in knowledge, that I have always experienced. So when you live into that wisdom, you are always ready for your work or whatever the schedule is in your life every day. So you are never busy, you are never fatigued, you are never tired. Yes, that's a big point, great point that you have raised. Beautifully said. How are you, Dennis?
Peaceful meditation, the mind was very quiet. I was witnessing the breath and the thoughts and reminding myself that I am none of that and this, and I am the one who witnesses.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I am the one who witnessed any day, every day, any event, any incident, good, bad, high, low. We don't have control. We don't have total control over the events in the world outside. You go to the girl and you say, I'll marry you. And the girl says, I hate you. Can you have a control? No, I don't have a control. But I have a control over the mind. I can witness, mind, what the heck you are doing. Drop it. Drop this idea. Now, if you don't drop this idea, you have a struggle. You react. You drop this idea, you don't have a struggle. But how can you drop it when you are in a witness consciousness? Then you are free. I'm just giving a very rough example to relate. How are you? Yes, Vaibhav is the youngest person in our group. Yes, Janji, yes.
Thank you, sir. Sir, even I was like thinking on this laziness and the fatigue part, that when I'm not the body and the body is inert, then from where this laziness comes inside the body and why
Yes.
do I feel it?
Yes.
So is it a mental thing that is there and I keep on repeating in my head, or it's something else?
Sure. You rightly pointed. If I question means I'm moving from a fully busy, having a stress and anxiety to a conscious thinking. The witness consciousness will always come by a conscious thinking. It will never come when I have a lack of thinking. When I have a lack of thinking, I say I'm a lower seeker, what to do? I have a lot of anxiety, what to do? I'm a fully busy, lot of what to do? I have a lot of problems, what to do? So what I always see here also a very good pointer. When you follow a particular street, it says dead end. So by lack of thinking, we reach to the dead end. How can we have it witness consciousness? How are you? How are you, Terry? You want to share something?
It was just very, very fast today.
Good. Very fast today. Yes.
And I don't really remember anything in particular.
Very fast means mind is absorbed. Mind was not distracted, and you had no other thought of distraction and wandering. That's why it appeared very fast. We did it around 20 minutes. You see that, my friends. See, I try myself the best putting medicine of these 5 steps today, and will follow other steps in our next session. Until then, thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Namaste.